Hi all, back with more Red Storm Dark Blue Defection Scenario 4 Iron Eagle. This is part 18 on my playthrough. So just uploading that part 17 just now, done that last night, so this is Friday. I'm still not quite relaxed into my weekend, but I should have quite a bit of time over the next couple of days anyway, but maybe not right at this minute. I've got a few chores I need to do, but I thought I'd get things started here. Watched back on part 17, couple of things I noticed. I think there was something else I was wanting to talk about. No comments, obviously, because that part's just getting put together just now. It's just getting uploaded just now. Yeah, I've talked about these two flights that split and said that they're heading off the map. First of all, I realised that I was pointing at this map edge thinking, that's the map edge. And I was like, wait now, Grant, you've not got the whole map unfolded here. I says, is that at the top of the map? Well, going by this, it does look like it is, because that's where the flight started. In fact, there's waypoint 1, sorry. Well, actually, that's waypoint 2 that's there, the wee red. So that's that there. Waypoint 2. So it is the top of the map, so I'm okay with that, but I suppose I'll need to watch that in future if I'm going to fold the map and not use the whole map and think that's the map edge where it's not. But it is in this case, at least that's my understanding. Well, in actual fact, hang on, maybe it's not, because that's not the top of the map. This is the bottom half. So I'll zoom out here. You can see Red Storm down in the bottom corner here, signifying that this is the bottom edge of the map. In fact, I think this grey part tells you the edges of the map. Okay. So that is going to be the case, and we are not heading towards the edge of the map because the map should carry on up. Because I'm pretty sure if I look back on the instructions, that'll tell us that the whole map's in use. I'm pretty sure. Scenario 4. Eastern... Oh, well, hang on. It says Eastern map is in play. Eastern map is in play for this scenario. I don't know. I don't know if that means that that's a map edge or not then. I'm not sure. When I think about it, it might be classified as that's the edge of things. And I think the fact we started off that way, I think we'll just consider that in the map edge. And you might say, well, what difference does it make? And of course, I've been saying that, I've even been hinting to the fact that can I not just remove the flights? We've got to remember that it's when I was watching back in the video and I didn't finish off reading the whole part of what was said, and it was regarding aborted there. And it says dash throttle, and in fact, and crippled aircraft, because both these flights, one of them's got a crippled aircraft, one of them's aborted. It says, if possible, exit playing area and roll for recovery. Well, actually, it says roll for recovery in the crippled part. On the aborted part, it says, if possible, exit playing area and recover. And maybe this is a good time to start looking at recovery. Fuel and recovery. Rule 20. I thought it was about there. So there we go. So do they roll for... I mean, it says at the end of the scenario, this is rule 20.2, recovery rolls. At the end of the scenario, all aircraft on a side must be recovered. Those that do not recover safely count as destroyed for victory point purposes. So this is saying at the end of the scenario, whereas in here, it seems to be suggesting that we roll for recovery as soon as we exit. That's the crippled aircraft part. The aborted part just says recover. So, but then the aborted flight has a damaged aircraft. Right, let me read this recovery rolls part then. I don't really have the space to lay this part out on the map. There's no real space to show you this. But it says, at the end of the scenario, all aircraft on a side must be recovered. Those that do not recover safely count as destroyed for victory point purposes. Aircraft in a flight that lands at a friendly open airfield during a scenario automatically recover safely. Well, that's not been suggested to us for the aborted flight, is it? I mean, in the main rules it says, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, but not for the solo side of things, is it? Because I've already looked at this, and aborted does state move toward friendly playing area edge. It doesn't suggest trying to land. Now, you could be right beside an airfield there, land, and then you automatically recover, which seems odd. And then the crippled aircraft part also says exit playing area. Again, doesn't want to land. So, I don't know if I'm missing something there, but it seems a bit strange. Whereas the main rules say, they're spelling it out there, aircraft in a flight that lands at a friendly open airfield during a scenario automatically recover safely. Whereas we're going to move off the map edge and actually roll for this recovery. Okay, well, maybe I should read on before I start, deciding how it should be. Aircraft in a flight that exits the East Warsaw Pact or West NATO map edge or scenario playing area edge during a scenario. Well, there you go. It's talking about scenario playing area. So this is what shows you on the map thing, on the planning map, that's the edge, but it's not actually the edge of the map. You see the grey areas, so I'm still not 100% sure. It says, or end the scenario on the map. Oh, okay, so if they end the scenario on the map, they automatically recover safely and do not need to roll for recovery unless the flight's fuel point allowance has been exceeded. Okay, the flight exits the north or south edge of the map or scenario playing area on the enemy side of the front. They automatically recover safely and do not need to roll for recovery unless this happens, right? Unless they actually... Well, what's I mean, we know the east side's the Warsaw Pact and the west side's the NATO. What is the north and the south? Is that not split? That must be split by the front, surely. So it looks to me like the front is going to continue up that way. So I think as long as we go off that edge there, that's considered to be Warsaw Pact. So, but however, condition C is unless the flight has damaged or crippled aircraft. So it doesn't matter if they get off the map or not. We're still going to have to roll to see how they get on for damage and cripple. And yeah, the wee light bulb went on there when I thought, oh wait a minute, we get victory points. Even though we've only crippled that aircraft and damaged that aircraft, just give me the DBD victory points again. An enemy that recovers crippled, we get 2 points for. And an enemy that recovers damage, we get 1 point for. Now, my guess is that a crippled aircraft that doesn't recover is probably going to crash, and we'll still get 2 points, I suppose, because it's crashed. So it's the same. However, what happens to the pilot? Do we get the chance for a point for him being killed? Possibly, probably. And the one that damaged, rolling for damage recovery, well, I'm not quite sure. Let's read on then. So it says, if condition A or B apply, roll to check for recovery for all aircraft in the flight. This is the fuel points being exceeded or they've exited of the north or south map edge on the enemy side of the front. Okay. If only condition C applies, roll only for damaged or crippled aircraft in the flight. This roll takes place in the fuel phase of the turn the flight exits during a scenario, or in the recovery phase if it ends at the scenario. If it ends the scenario on the map. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if we get off the map here, I don't think. If it gets off the map, we roll then for it. If it doesn't, it looks like they will get off the map in time. If it doesn't, we're still going to roll. To me, they're in Warsaw Pact territory. So if that comes to it, then, they're on the right side. However, no, that doesn't matter, Grant, because we're rolling for the damaged or crippled part of it. So we roll 2 dice for each aircraft, not the flight, just the aircraft involved. If the roll is 2 or greater, the aircraft recovers safely. A. Roll 2 dice for each aircraft. If the roll is 2 or greater, the aircraft recovers safely. Otherwise, the aircraft is lost. See the recovery table on play rate card 3 for modifiers. Right, okay, I expected there to be modifiers, because that's like, we can only roll 2 for it to go against. Let me see here. Looking for recovery. I'm not finding it. Give me a sec. Ah, right, okay, so there's some, you can see there's in particular, one big modifier there. So this is on play rate card 3. So we roll 2 dice. If the roll is greater than or equal to 2, the aircraft recovers. But you can see, per fuel point exceeded, well, that's not going to be the situation, I don't think. Aircraft is damaged is going to be a -2. Aircraft is crippled, however, is going to be a -7. And then -1 per full or fraction of 5 hexes, the flight's exit hex is on the enemy side of the front. Only applies to north-south map edge exit. Per full or fraction of 5 hexes. Right, so that does mean we need to know if the thing with these 2 flights, they are going to reach the edge of the map. I'm reading from that, well, let's just see what it says in the rulebook here. For CSAR purposes, well, I don't think we go into that, do we? I think, yeah, that's for, it says if the aircraft's flight landed at an unfriendly airfield, exited the map during the scenario, or ended the scenario on the map on the friendly side of the front, the crew is automatically rescued. Right, so we don't roll, if the flight crashes, I'm assuming we don't roll for killed in action. And obviously if it ended on the enemy side of the front, we would check that's for crew getting captured, I think. For CSAR purposes, the fate of the crew of an aircraft that fails to recover depends on where it ended the scenario. Yeah, okay, I'm going to just leave that then. So if we happen to roll in this crippled flight and it got lost, we're going to consider that the pilot bailed out and he's on the right side of the front and he's fine. Don't think we roll on the bailout side of that. Come for that. But let me know if I've got that wrong, John. Yeah, and what I'm taking from this is, if we don't reach the map edge hex, then for every 5 hexes that we are short of the north or south map edge, we would get another -1 to the roll. Is that right? The flight's exit hex. Per full or fraction of 5 hexes, the flight's exit hex is on the enemy side of no, that's not going to apply to us, because they are on the right side of the front. What it means is if they were on the enemy side of the front and they're heading towards the north or south map edge, then they would get a -1 for each 5 hexes, I think. So I don't think that's going to apply at all. So there you go. When we're going to roll, we've got one of the flights that obviously split has a damaged aircraft, so we're going to get a -2 for it, and it's just the aircraft you're rolling for. So if we roll greater than or equal to a 4 out of 2 dice, it's going to be fine. So that seems likely. However, the crippled one's got a slightly better chance of being destroyed, crashed, or whatever you want to call it, because we get a -7 to that. So that would mean we need to roll greater than a 9 then, is it? Greater than or equal to 2, so we rolled 9, -7, 2. Yeah, so a 9 or greater would be fine for them. So there is a chance there. Right. Okay. Right, I think we've got that sorted. Yeah, it feels about right. The only thing, just I'm not sure if that is a map edge hex. A map edge, sorry. Like, if that counts as them leaving the map. But we're going to go for that. But remember, I don't think it matters because they are on their side of the front. So if it would mean they've got to fly away north. Well, to be honest, if that was the case, then they would fly towards this edge, wouldn't they? Because it'd be closer. So, but maybe it's right to know about what part of the map we should be using. I know it shows in the flight plan there that that's the edge, but that's only because the map's been folded in half, basically. So, yeah, okay. Maybe John will straighten me out with that one. Okay. So I think that's all. I feel like there was something else on my mind, but I can't quite recall what it was. Okay, let's just push on then. So we're starting a new turn. We're on turn 6. This only lasts 10 turns. So yeah, and we've got a bit more work to do now. We thought things were running quite smooth, like I've said. Not so the case. Now, I was wondering if I can maybe take some of the waypoint dice away. I'm pretty sure I can't I? Well, you know what? If for some reason the day flights end up without a flight within 7 hexes, I can always check back to find the waypoint. So let me remove the red waypoint dice anyway, not the blue ones, because we still need them. Okay, that's cleared up a bit of the clutter. That shouldn't be there anymore as well. Obviously this one is to count the SAM, the suppression of the SAM. The blue dice, let's say, we still need for our bombing flight. Yeah, that was another one. I was talking about, and I suppose I might need to find this out right now, I was talking about maybe circling around and not moving in, as long as I stay within 2 hexes of the flight path. But I'm actually allowed to do that. Maybe not. Maybe I've got to continue on my flight path. So, I'm not. I probably need to find that out. Right, hang on. Okay, here's, I think, where I need to be looking. Page 12, 8.32, navigating the flight path. This is the main rules right enough. I'm not considering the DBD side of it. So, flight starts with bombing, recon, or transport. Now remember, this is a bombing flight. Follow their flight path from the ingress hex to the egress hex. Now, I've already said that an ingress hex was number 1 and the egress hex must be number 7. There's different names for some of the other flight points, I think, waypoints, but you've got release point, target point, rejoin point, things like that. I don't know if that's relevant to us really in this scenario anyway. Whether, yeah, I can see there's an example on the page 13 there that kind of shows. Anyway, I don't think we need that, but anyway, here we go. Bombing, recon, and transport flights start within 2 hexes of the ingress hex. They must fly directly to the next waypoint, following the line plotted on the planning map. No flight may intentionally stray more than 2 hexes from this line. So that right away tells you must fly directly to the next waypoint. Now, I could have flown from flight point 2 to point 3 and I could have strayed a couple of hexes away from it, but I think I still need to be flying direct. I don't think I can start doing circles and to stop, but it says each hex moved, yeah, there you go. Each hex moved into must be closer to the next waypoint than the last hex. Well, there you go. When a flight moves within 2 hexes of a waypoint and has reached the waypoint, it must begin moving to the next one in order. So, well, I'm glad I looked that up and I'm glad I kind of thought about it. Because, like I say, I was talking about trying to slow the flight down by doing a circle, but I can't. I've got to keep moving now. Oh dear. Right, well, this is going to be a bit nitty-gritty, I think. So we are hoping our F-16 can get, not only avoid the inherent AAA to climb to medium. Well, to be honest, I think if I'm going to take that hit anyway, I'm going to take that shot anyway, I might as well just staying at low, because it's going to cost me a movement point to get to medium. And then I want to turn and have another go at this. Also within this turn, I need Saint to come in and probably go for the AAA fire and here to try and suppress it. But if we fail with this SC13 with Silver Fox, I think Saint might be wanting to do that. And then, to be honest, then Silver Fox is going to be out of weapons, isn't he? He's only got one EOGM left. The good part of that is he can then just flip his task to Cap and, yeah, see if he can mess with Zelenko or Siskov, who both went undetected. Well, I'm hoping that result might change. Okay, so it's quite an interesting finish here, I think. It's going to be maybe quite tense to get around. Now Slam himself, he can, what's his slowest he can move then? That's F111, he's laid in, yeah, he can move it 2. However, that is going to now take him into the SE13. Yeah, because it's got a range of 2. Well, hang on here. If I'm in range of 2 of this now, do I not now change my waypoint to waypoint 4? That's what that just said. Let me just check the DBD rules. I think it is. The number was 2 hexes, wasn't it? Let's see. Bombing flight follows NATO flight plan A within 2 hexes, it just says. So my guess is it's the same rulings as I just read out about being within 2. But it says when a flight moves within 2, it has reached that waypoint and must begin moving to the next. So in actual fact, we have reached this waypoint. So we could technically turn into there. Thing is, we've got to be moving closer to waypoint 4. I don't think there's a way of avoiding going into this. Because, yeah, that would be 1 hex closer. 1, 2, 3. And that would be 1 hex closer as well. Wouldn't it? And we'd still be within 2. Ooh. In actual fact, I think I can do that then. I think I could, now that I've reached my 3rd waypoint, I think for my next movement, I could actually turn and move, because I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 away from that hex, and move into there. I'm still within 2 of the waypath, and I'm 1, 2, 3 hexes away, and then I can move in there. That keeps me away from that SA13, which is a wee bit cheeky, isn't it? Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, I wonder if there's something that I might be getting wrong with that, though. I don't want to do that if am I gaming things even? I don't think so. Maybe Howard's intention was for you to be able to find that little loophole, if you like. Because if that was the case, he would have put the SA13 in here, and then there'd be no way of avoiding it. Put it right on the waypath. Well, I think we'll still try and get Silver Fox around and have a go at that SA13. Saint has 2 EOGMs left, so his intention is to fire one of them at the airfield to try and suppress the AAA. Well, here's the thing. Well, like I've said, should we just ignore this SC13? Well, ideally, I'd like a missile on this, and I'd like a missile on that. So ideally, I want to do something to that, and that before I'm bombing. Well, not that, but I need to do something between that and that. So hopefully, I'm doing that this turn before my bombers then reach. Because could the bombers go in this turn? I don't know, maybe. Right, I'm way ahead of myself, I'm not. But you can see what I'm trying to think about, I guess. Hopefully. Right. Right, let's get a wee bit started then. I'll probably have to go and pause and get some of these things done that I need to do. Okay, so play the card 4. Well, looking for an event, which could bring some relevance to it, I suppose. So random event. I'll just zoom out again. See what we get. 18. Ooh, some of them can be a bit iffy. So 18. Play the card 2, I think. Well, as usual, I don't think that one's omitted though, isn't it? I think the last one's something like 12 or maybe 14. 14's the last one. Direction finding, yeah. Oh, no, that's the wrong scenario, Grant. It's still the same though, yeah. So 18 will apply. I'm throwing things about. Cloud deck drops. Yeah, we maybe had this. Existing cloud layers drop 1 altitude band each. High, medium goes to medium low to low deck, no change. Yeah, we don't have any clouds, so yeah, so moving on. So no event, jamming phase. Well, I don't think we don't need to adjust it. I don't have my still not got the battery for this. I've got batteries down the stairs as well, so. Well, I think it's pretty straightforward to see, right? So it's looking at the spine here. So that means it goes right halfway through this row of hexes. So it's going through that, it's going through the middle of that. So we can still count that the way we want it. So we say it's on this side of the hex, so it's inside, and it goes right up there. I mean, it does cover that infrared sandwich, but doesn't do anything for us. And then the other hex is right up there, so everything's covered that we need. Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to say when I made this fix about this inherent 2K22 fire on Silver Fox. When I made the fix on it, the thing is, it would have been right on the hex, wouldn't it? I'm just wondering about the direction it fires, because we would have got half standoff jamming strength, wouldn't we, if it had been firing that way, shall we say? If it hadn't been firing that way towards our, that's how you end up at half. But I think the fact that it's right on top of us probably means that it's inside that as well. Yeah, looking for help with that again, John, I guess. Would I still get the full standoff jamming strength for? I know we kind of missed where the flight was when it was fired upon, because we forgot about it completely. But I suppose I need to look back in the footage to find. But I think the fact it fires in the hex, so it's the same. If we moved, for instance, if we moved a flight on top of this 2K22, it would fire at us. Now, would I still get the full jamming strength? Now, if my flight was here and this 2K22 fired at me, my understanding is I would get half jamming strength, because it's firing away. It's not firing into the arc of the jammer. However, if my flight was here, it would be firing into the arc of the jammer, and we would get the full strength. What happens if it's right on the hex? Because that's what that situation would be there. I'd like to say that you could choose, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's only firing in this hex, so it doesn't. So I would end up at half strength. I looked at the die roll for that though. So if I was getting half strength, the roll was still okay, because we rolled 11 and we were getting a -5. So I looked at that and I thought, well, I think it would have been a -3 rather than a -5, or maybe a -4. However, I couldn't remember if you rounded up or down or whatever. But anyway, it was still been a no effect. But I wouldn't mind, I suppose, knowing for sure if that was done right, and I did get the full strength for that, John. Okay. Right, so I don't think we're going to move that. And can we do any more spot jamming then? Well, we might as well leave that there. Well, in actual fact, we've now got this 2K22 here, haven't we? Oh, but you've got your EWR jamming. Grant. So, well, actually, can we not just remove spot jamming from this? We don't really need that, do we? Nah, let's just leave that this turn, and I can change it next turn to that one, just in case, because Silver Fox has still got to manoeuvre his way around, and he's sitting at low altitude, so I better watch. Okay, so I won't adjust any jamming then. We'll just leave that as is. So detection phase, yeah, I'll get this done, and then we'll just have a pause, I think, before we start any movement. So detection, is anybody at deck level? No, don't think we've had anybody throughout this scenario at deck level at all. So, right, but any EWR searches, we're going to have standoff spot jamming. Yeah, okay. Well, I think all our flights are... No, that's not true. We do have Cobra. Our standoff jammer is detected as well. So Cobra flight, might as well look at him first. Rolling on the C column, no modifiers. So he needs a 12 to detect. Oh, I've rolled 12, bang on. Yeah, okay. What is this on top of? Oh, hang on. That's the 2K22, isn't it? We need to check to see if that switches back on, don't we? Right, hang on. Right, he's been detected. I missed that then. Probably with Cobra flight sitting on top, but there was a few days in between. Let me go back to check. We should have checked that radar switch is back on. Switch radar AA and mobile AA on or off. 14.52, 14.62. Now 14.52 I think it might be. Radar AA status. Right, hang on. Oh, this could be worse than I thought. It's actually 14.62 I wanted to be redone, which is on page 23. 14.62 mobile AAA status. Mobile AA units remain hidden. Right, I don't need to read all of this. Radars can also switch on in the movement phase when a flight expends a movement point for any reason. A located mobile AAA never becomes hidden again for an organic mobile AA flip. Am I reading the right rule here? Is it 40.63 maybe? No, that's mobile AA attacks. Radars are switched on or off in the admin phase. Flip the counter to its on or off side. Does that just automatically switch back on then? It must, I think, well, hang on, what state? I've put it in the state of just radar shutdown. It's not. That's all that happened to it, didn't it? It just shut down. And that's how we, because of that modifier, we... Oops. Right, hang on. So it is shut down, so I think it just switches back on then. Bot SAM actions table. See, admin phase of radar shutdown marker. Tend to remove the marker. But that's for a SAM, not a... This isn't a SAM we're checking. So where's the bit that the SAM tries to... Hang on. I'm missing something here. On play rate card 5, on the bot SAM actions table, it says in admin phase, if radar shutdown marker, attempt to remove the marker. So attempt. So that means there's a role for that. I'm missing this somewhere. So there's a role for that. Bot SAM ISR table. I don't think that's anything to do it, is it? I remember talking about how about having a role to put the radar back on, because I think but that was for a SAM, but I'm not finding it in the rules. Right, give me a second. That took me a while to work out what I was looking for here. Eventually it clicked with me. Just look up radar shutdown in the back of the book, Grant, because I'm looking under the rules for AAA and I'm looking under the rules for SAMs. It's telling me that they'll switch on and off in the admin phase. Not really finding how you go about doing it. However, there is a rule 17.53 radar shutdowns. Whether I've got a gripe about that being in the right place, I mean, it's under anti-radiation missiles, which is 17.5, so I suppose this is where you actually fire and they shut down. Well, is this going to tell you what you do? Yeah, and I feel like this should be on the chart somewhere, but I think it is. I'm just maybe not finding it on Playrate Card 5. Right, let's read this in. So this is about, when you shoot at them in the voluntary shutdown, involuntary shutdown, okay. And then you do morale roll. Right, so the last paragraph though, on page 33, 17.53, radar shutdowns. Units with a shutdown marker may not attack, turn the radar on, move, or for EWR units, attempt detection. They may attempt to remove the shutdown marker in the admin phase, roll a die, on a result of 5 or greater, remove the marker, otherwise it remains in place. If the marker is removed, the radar may now be turned on, roll each admin phase until removed. And I wondered about when it got turned on, and John reminded me. Admittedly, this was for Sam, so I'm putting all these in the one boat, that it'll switch on right away. And this, going back to the top of this, radar shutdowns, it is talking about any kind of radar, mobile AA, SAMs, EWRs. Okay. So this should have been done in the admin phase. So I'm now going to make this die roll. So we want 5 or greater removes the marker. So we're kind of wanting less than a 5. Okay, so here we go. Okay, good. I won. Right, well that's relieved that from, but now we know next turn there is that risk. Fortunately we're sitting at medium altitude. However, we didn't really want that active, because that would have meant that our bombing flight's coming close. Well, maybe not this turn, to be honest. It's maybe next turn we need to worry about. However, we'll hopefully have reached our target by the time it comes into effect. Okay, so it stays shut down, and we'll just hope that die roll sticks around the same. So let's move back to where I was. I was doing detection, wasn't I? So we detected Cobra, and that was only flight of ours we needed to check. But they've got Siskov and Zelenko. No modifier, so check Siskov first. We're on the D column. We don't need to do the EWR check either, anyway, because all our flights are detected. So on the D column, we need a 13. I rolled 15, so that's good. So Siskov comes back detected as well. I'm kind of hoping we get Zelenko as well. Right, but Zelenko, so roll again on the D, we need a 13 or greater. 13 bang on. Right, sorry, just letting the dogs die down there. Somebody came at the door, I think. So 13 bang on, so we got Zelenko as well. Clearly not quite died down. Right. So that's good. We got them both the Warsaw Pact flights detected again. Right, I think I probably should take a pause there. What we're at 40-minute mark. Unless I want to be crazy enough just to cut that as a small part. We're moving on to the movement phase now. Well, you know what? I might as well. Make it a shorter part for you to watch through. And okay, not an awful lot done, but some interesting thoughts in there, I think, about how I'm going to try and go about things. I get a feeling there's a few question marks about some of the things that have been done and talked about as well, though. So probably give John some more comments to make, which are always appreciated, John. Okay, I'll just cut this as a part, and then I can come back fresh to part. What is this? I think this was 8. Is this 18? So I'll come back to part 19. Whatever it is, anyway. Okay, I'll be back later in the day. Okay, cheers.